Hey everybody, welcome to our weekend check-in video for Psych 5 Social Psychology for Saturday, February 12th. And just going to go over a few items as I always do, reminders, clarifications, anything I think you need to know to kind of help you do well in the course. First up here is that your scores for Quiz 4 and your discussion that were due yesterday there on Friday. Those have been posted there, so please do take a look at those. And remember, on the comments on the discussions, I keep those private to you, so it's kind of like for your eyes only. You will see those remarks there, but I do take a look at them and try to give you some meaningful feedback there. On Monday, what we are planning on doing is, first of all, finishing up with Chapter 4. We're going to pick up where we left off last time on heuristics and really showcase the two main ones that are presented there in your textbook there, the availability heuristic and the representativeness heuristic. So make sure you're able to describe both of those and think about examples of each one there. When we finish that, which won't take too long, we're going to jump into Chapter 5, which is all about social attribution. This is basically all about the why somebody did behavior, including yourself, and so be able to describe what attribution is. Also take a look at what's known as explanatory style. You also might want to take a look at what are the two main factors that we usually come up with in our own calculus when we think about these things, if you will, to explain behavior, whether it's our own or somebody else's, and they're simply known as internal dispositions or external situations. Also take a look at what's called the covariation principle. There are three kinds of information that we use to kind of perform this sort of cognitive calculus, if you will, to arrive at some kind of explanation for behavior. You also want to take a look at this really cool section in the chapter. It's called counterfactual thoughts. Really fascinating stuff that we've all done it. And related to it, this phenomenon called emotional amplification. And so it's really fascinating stuff, so I'll let you read that on your own there. There's also a couple of really well-known and well-studied heuristics, again, studied in psychology here, and this time they have to do with attributional mistakes that we make, because remember, heuristics are quick and dirty, but they kind of lead you down a path where you're probably going to get something wrong. And this time the two they're going to showcase are called the self-serving bias, and also something we covered back in Chapter 1 a little bit, it's the fundamental attribution error, or the FAE for short, as it's known as. So be able to describe those when you come to class on Monday, and also be able to think about some examples that might illustrate those. Now, along with that fundamental attribution error, you want to be thinking about, as your book authors present there, and as I also cover in the lecture videos, why do people seem so motivated to commit this particular cognitive mistake, this error, this fundamental attribution error? Well, take a look at what are known as the just world hypothesis. Take a look at what's known as salience or salient behavior. And also take a look at what we usually call just the amount of cognitive effort that a person does or does not put in to arrive at a attribution for behavior. Also pretty cool here towards the end of the chapter, there's this last thing which is really has a lot of applied value, I think. It's called the actor-observer difference, sometimes called the actor-observer divergence, and be able to describe what that is and also be able to think of some examples of what those are there. And once we finish that up on Chapter 5, and by the way, I did post an announcement earlier this week about what you need to kind of get ready for Monday, and please do try to prepare that material. Again, we're doing this flipped classroom thing, as I say in the announcement, and for it to work and for you all to get the most out of it, it really does help if you at least try to at least look a little bit at what's in your book there about this, and at least maybe kind of skim through some of those videos. That way at least you'll kind of heard of some of these things, and so we're able to talk about them. We'll have some cool exercises for you to do as well when we do some of this, so definitely check that out. And once we finish up Chapter 5 next Monday, we won't have class the following Monday there on the 21st, because that's one of the President's Day observation days there, so we won't have class that day. But when we come back on the following Monday on the 28th, we are going to have our second exam over Chapters 3, 4, and 5. So you get like a whole extra week to study, so you can do really well on your second exam there. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say for now. I hope you're having a good weekend, enjoying the weather, and if you need anything in the meantime before class on Monday, just feel free to shoot me an email on Canvas and I'll be glad to get back to you. Otherwise, I will see you in class on Monday, and see you then.